Welcome to ABQ LEAP. This is Albuquerque's League of Enterprise Accredited Professionals. So this is raising the bar for business in New Mexico. We've noticed that we have an epidemic of third-party providers using a lot of smoke and mirrors, getting the attention of the ambitious entrepreneurs and business people around here, and wasting a lot of their energy, wasting a lot of their time, wasting a lot of their resources, and feeding them a lot of jive. And some of us have been able to see through this, and we've actually come up with a program that's going to make a difference in our local entrepreneurs' lives. This is the program for the ABQ LEAP. You have one, yeah? So in this program here, we're going to make a difference in what we're doing with our entrepreneurs, because there's been enough research and development in the industry to know what's working and what's not working. And we start up over here from the startup game. We're going on an entrepreneur's journey. We're taking entrepreneurs on a journey from the startup game to the success story. We're mitigating the risks that we're taking with our business, which are time, energy, and money investments, right? When we don't know what we're doing, that's called gambling. But when we do know what we're doing, that's called investment. So we're going to show our entrepreneurs is kind of the difference in gambling with our resources and investing them in something that we know is proven to work. What we found in the industry is that people have reached saturation. The market has reached saturation and people are experiencing information overload, okay? So the consumers have learned how to phase out 98% of everything that they're going to experience through their surfing, their mobile devices, their media devices. They're just gonna glaze over and look the other way if what they see does not actually ring with them. If it doesn't pass the 3-second test, if they can't tell what it is right away, if they can't tell what's in it for me right away, if they can't tell me, there's not something there that says, tell me more and how do I buy it? If it's not set up right, then they're just gonna glaze over and keep going. So what we've found is that, first of all, well, the consumers are experiencing information overload, but also the business owners have reached kind of an information overload also. They're being constantly bombarded with all these third-party providers that are saying, here's the next thing. Here's the one thing that's gonna do it for you. Here, SEO. Here, what do you call it? Social media, right? This is gonna do it for you. This is gonna do it for you. This is gonna do it for you. Each of these things are the magic bullet. But we found out every time we try it, we're 3-4 months down the road and still don't know, not getting any traction with this. So what we've done is we've created this program. I've done an extensive study of the top transformational leaders and what they're teaching. And what we found is that they share a similar formula and format, from Tony Robbins and Oprah all the way down through all of the even the up and coming transformational leaders have recognized there's a particular formula that actually gets traction and actually gets success, and it's relative to where your business is at and being able to do the activities that get they're actually most productive and get the low-hanging fruit right there within range. So on this second page here, we have a chart, right? And this chart shows us, and what we'll do is on my video here, I'll just flip an actual card up. But on this chart, it shows us the entrepreneur's journey. This chart is an advanced version of many of the other charts that I've seen from the top transformational leaders. So I've added a couple of things that I've noticed by comparing the charts of the other leaders. And one of the things that I've included in this entrepreneur's journey here is the hobbypreneur stage, where they're down here playing with third-party amateur grade hobby software toys, right? And then what happens is the hobbypreneurs tend to get inspired to utilize a particular kind of marketing message that's being promoted by a particular successful marketing expert who's promoting a particular method. Usually what happens is these particular methods end up being over here, several degrees of separation away from the entrepreneur, and they try to put them into implementation, and they end up bouncing back and forth, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and really never getting any traction with the business because they're doing the do-it-yourself method. Hi, Rebecca. How you doing? Hi, Rebecca. Come on in. Can you guys hook these guys up with a couple of chairs? So instead of bouncing around in the hobbypreneur zone, we've found that there are exact methods to actually get your business getting traction in a professional enterprise way. So what I've done on this chart here is I've drawn a little trajectory that many people who've been in the industry may be able to notice and experience, have experienced. Maybe their hobby costing them from $5,000 to $25,000 a year, and maybe bouncing around with a few different methods, but never really actually getting traction with the business. Okay, so here, what we're going to focus on, I want to talk a little bit about this entrepreneur's journey and what it means. Did you get one of these LEAP booklets, Rebecca?
Thank you.
So the problem with trying to do this particular marketing method over here that's at 3 or 4 degrees of separation away from your business, right, is that you don't have what it takes to actually do the business at this level. You might have a little information product and a little tool set, or you might have a social media page or something like this. But if you don't have the substance that happens at the one-to-one level, then that can't translate up into bigger pieces of marketing that are going to make your business grow. And what I'm talking about is the intimacy. That a person could have a big old social media following, but if they cannot make an offer, they don't know how to make an offer or position an offer, an irresistible offer, or if they cannot do an enrollment consultation, what good is 3, 4, or 5,000 people following you, right? If you can't make an offer and you can't enroll them in a program, then you have a big sick. So the entrepreneur's journey is very easy once you do things in the right sequence. You get the right steps, the right stages in place. So come on in. There's a seat right there for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to connect. Depending on, at the workshop, we had some worksheets that allowed you to gauge where you wanted to be, set your business goals. Where do you want to be in this entrepreneur's journey? You got a dollar figure over here. You want 5 million a year. Correlate that with the scale of the business and the degrees of separation. And we have all of it. We could show you everything you need to get to the level of business that you really want to do business at. But you have to put the right stages into place in the first place. So today's workshop is going to be about what we do at the very, very beginning of business, before we even have a website, before we have a social media page, before anything. What makes the business go round? What makes the money? What gets the client to decide they want you to be their service provider? And once we have that established, then that intimacy that happens in that enrollment consultation can be transparently translated up into various pieces of marketing that can work for the one to few level, so that you can start doing business with more than one person at a time. And then going up into the one to many level, where you're actually launching your business out, and you can connect with hundreds of people at a time that would be interested in your intimate marketing message that you've worked out at that one-to-one level. And then once you have a piece of marketing that converts, you are on fire. Then partners, you'll be able to get partner attention and get them to recommend their lists to your product. If you get that marketing that converts, you're on a trajectory, a pathway for the big time, getting up into where you're becoming an influence and an institution and a movement with your idea, with your business, whatever it is that you've got going on. So it is easy to get there. It's just a matter of putting the right steps in place in the first place. And when you're a hobbypreneur doing it on your own, and you you don't learn from the people that have already succeeded, then we're still floundering around. And what do we do zone? So what I did is I went out and I studied all these top transformational leaders, and I noticed the pattern. I overlaid their worksheets, their flow charts, and I said, oh, very nice. Here's some overlap. Here's some gaps. Let me fill in the gaps with these overlaps, and let's build a better chart. So this is what I've done, is I built a chart and introduced this degrees of separation, because in the entire industry, I've never heard of another transformational leader talk about and correlate the degrees of separation with the incremental adjustments in there. So I'm introducing that into this chart here. So the first thing we're gonna focus on in the LEAP program, it's an 18-week program. We're gonna cover a different part of the enterprise system. There's the enterprise system, a little example, like a lotus flower. Oh, a little lotus flower that connects where all the petals or all of the modules of your business system are connected, and they kind of whirl together as one business unit. So each of the 18 course classes, we're going to be covering one of these in sequence, so that by the end of the 18 weeks, you've built a fully functional automated marketing machine that is actually getting traction and converting your clients. We're going to work on client conversion immediately. It's the first thing, and then we're going to translate that intimate relationship up into marketing, and then up into the website, and then into your automated marketing message and into your product delivery. So we're going to take you through the whole journey. The idea here is to help you. I had the good fortune of enrolling into Marissa Murgatroyd's Experience Product Masterclass. On this particular page here, where you see the funnel frontier, okay, this is regarding what has been found to get the most traction in the industry is a product that is experiential. And so I took Experience Product Masterclass and learned how to create experience products. I'm certified in creating experience products now. I can put the experience product seal on right here on the book here. This is an experience product, right? Because it's experiential. From the moment that you touch the very first piece of marketing, it's got a number of what we call escalation points infused right into every turn of that roller coaster, so that you enjoy the ride all the way to the point to where the roller coaster pulls into the station, and you actually get out of the roller coaster and want to go get on the roller coaster again, or tell your friends about this great roller coaster that you just rode on that had all these exciting things happen all the way along the way until you got back into the station and got off, and it was just awesome. And then you bought the souvenir photograph of you going down the thing when it goes down, like the descent. So things like Universal Studios and Disneyland are experience products to the maximum, to where it's like you want to on the way out. But the whole point is this: every single aspect of these high-end marketing products that are out there have already done their homework. So now what we're doing is we're introducing this kind of marketing product to our local entrepreneurs, so that you too can have an experience product. Now, the difference between a regular information product, which is non-experiential, maybe an ebook that you bought or some kind of online training program, because it doesn't drag you all the way through to the end. So there's about a 9% completion ratio on information products. 2017 was the first year that sales in information products had gone down by about 3%. The first year since the internet. So there's this market saturation that's occurring, and we found that experience products are the ones that are getting 90% completion. This is how we create tribes of raving fans. This is what social media and SEO are suggestive of, but without the experiential element, that people just drop off. They just don't. You don't have them. You don't have their attention. You don't have them just on the edge of their seat. So the idea here is, if you're going to brand to expand and meet the demand. So we have 3 stages that we work you through in getting your branding set up, getting your automated marketing funnel set up, and then getting your automated product delivery set up in an experiential way. And we'll walk you through this throughout the program. I'm going to have 4 workshops that are going to be our marketing workshops. So there will be 18 classes that are for the enterprise mastery of the control panel. And there'll be 4 workshops that will revolve. And I'm going to probably throw in a couple extra workshops in there, because I just got ideas coming off the top of my head, and I think that I want to make sure that I work with you on specific things. So, be prepared for some surprise workshops. Does everybody like the evening for the workshops? Is that okay?
Most
Or
depends.
depends?
I like evenings, but it depends.
Okay. Is there a preference of a day anybody can jot out there that might be your preferred day? So if we can just like I think Tuesdays and Thursdays seem to be the evening times. Thursdays seem to be pretty good. I'll let you know. We'll try to let you know at least a week ahead of time for any surprise workshops. And then we're going to have planned ones that are going to come once a month. The first one we're going to talk about you dialing in your unique marketing message. The second one is going to be getting your customer journey mapped out. The third one is going to be getting your marketing assets put into your website so that your website has everything in the right place in the right sequence, so that when your visitors get there, they pretty much fall into your website and end up in the roller coaster car, and then that lap bar comes down, and then the next thing you know, they're on their way. So the fourth one is going to be setting up the automated marketing sequence, your email sequence, and things like that, so that you get that when they sign up on your list, they start getting a little sequence that brings them into your program. So those would be the workshops. So today's focus is what I've noticed is not being taught around here. There's all kinds of other things that are being spread around the atmosphere, but the people that are spreading them around are not doing the most important thing for each and every one of us. If they're coming themselves as experts and they're saying, oh, well, they do this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, I did, and it didn't do anything. There's a reason. So we've got to get back to that intimacy. So what I want to teach and emphasize and make sure everybody's got at the very beginning of this program is enrollment mastery. Okay. So what we're going to do, let's see, I'll give you some worksheets here. This is the first worksheet in the 18 sequence. Oh, not that one. This one is the, and here we go. All right. So this, I'm going to go over the art of enrollment here. Would you like a worksheet also, Jim?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to go over the art of enrollment. Okay. This is designed. When I went to the Client Attraction Summit, it changed my life. These workshops are transformational, and I felt like every workshop I went to like opened a different chakra in my body. Art of let's see, the Client Attraction Summit, Jesse Corin, hey, he got my heart chakra to move. It was a big deal. I was on the concept of coming off of labor value, hourly labor value from an earlier perspective, then moving on to product value, then moving on to intellectual property value. But at this workshop, Jesse got me to really consider my inherent personal value of me as an individual, and me as a teacher, and me as a provider, and that's priceless. And that there are executives in this world that would pay $100,000 to have me teach the same thing that I would teach to any regular working class person, just because of my personality. And that really changed me. That made me feel special. Like it was a very special turning point in my life. That Charlotte and Jacob could put such a transformational event together. So we did some exercises. I had an epiphany. I was like, wow, okay, so I am worth it. Great, cool. I could be like these guys. Then I came home, and we had done some exercises on the heart selling. I came home, and I started using the heart selling enrollment method when I got back to town. It was about a year ago, a little over a year. As soon as I started implementing the heart selling enrollment method, my enrollments went from about 25%, 1 out of 4, to about 9 out of 10. And I felt it. It was just like, this is so seamless. This is so nice. This is not trying to convince anybody of anything. Wow, what a difference. And at that point in time, I got to change my mood from taking on everybody that came through the door, because I just figured I just needed to just love all, serve all, and being able to be selective about the clients that I wanted to do business with. It gave me a perspective change. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to deal with everybody who's, at the bottom of the bottom of the barrel here, you know, like, no, and what I really mean by that, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but there are some people who are a hot mess, and they will come in and they'll come from complaining about the situation they just got from, can you help me? And then I help them out, and I give them a discount, and I give them all this extra work, and then they complain about how they didn't see any value in it. It's like, wow. That's what happens when you go on a limb for someone. But this enabled me to actually pick and be able to put myself in a position where I'm picking and choosing, and which makes all the difference in the world, because then we can actually we can go for more high-end clients this way, high-end clients that would be able to appreciate us more and actually be able to have a better cash influx into the business.